Hi everyone, welcome on board. This is Anisha here. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys everything you need to know about the NMAT exam. In this video, please make sure you watch till the end. We will talk about the NMAT exam structure, important dates and timelines that you should remember, cutoffs for NMIMS and the other top NMAT accepting colleges, the syllabus, must do topics which you definitely should study and not skip out onto it. Then we will talk about your study planner, like how should you go about preparing, how to analyze your mocks, increase the scores so that you're able to make it to NMIMS. And before we wrap up, we'll also look into what is the second stage of process that NMIMS follows so as to make sure your NMAT full journey is complete, met, and you make it to the NMIMS, one of the top campuses in Mumbai, India as well also. Alright, great. So let's get started. First thing foremost, for students who are still not sure whether you should take NMAT or not, before you understand about the exam, I would like to tell you, you definitely must look at taking NMAT exam because it is the only Indian exam which is adaptive. The advantage of the exam being adaptive is it is based on your own capability, no relative grading, no percentile based concept. You will be asked questions also which are going to be based on your capability. And the best part is NMAT, all the three sections are question adaptive, which means whichever section you choose, and yes, you have the choice to choose which section you want to start with, whether it's verbal, quants, LR, you choose the sequence of the sections. In each question, in each section, the first question would be of moderate level. Then if you are able to solve it, they will increase the difficulty level gradually. If you are not able to solve, instead of giving you tougher questions, you get easier or the same level question which you should be able to solve. That's the best advantage of the exam being adaptive. Okay. Second, you got the idea, you can choose the order of the sections. Third, very important, you choose the date, time and location. Where do you want to give the exam, which center, when, date and time. So based on your own preparation level, you can time it. If you guys need help when to schedule your NMAT exam, best advice I would give is take one of the NMAT free mocks, drop in the comment section your scores. I'll help you out. How much time do you think more you need to invest to increase your scores? Okay. So that's, I think, couple of reasons to take the NMAT exam. Now let's here look at the NMAT exam structure. So as an exam, they have got three sections: verbal, which is called language skills, quants, which is quantitative ability and data interpretation, logical reasoning. All the three sections have 36 questions each, but the timing is different. Verbal, you have 28 minutes, quants, you have 52 minutes, LR, you have 40 minutes. Totally 108 questions, 2 hours, and you have no negative marking as well also. Basically, you will be given questions based on the difficulty level and how many people are solving. आपको +3, -1 या +1, -1 ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. But if you leave the questions unattempted, which means you don't attempt all 36 questions in any of the sections, then there is penalty and you will not be able to get your full marks which you would have got if you have got all the questions correct. So that's your NMAT exam structure. Like I said, you will be able to choose the order in which you want to give the exam. Now when we talk about the exam syllabus, for each of these sections, very important, remember the topics which are coming, and to understand the weightage, you can see based on the last year's analysis, check out that video as well also, a detailed first cut analysis of NMAT which I do every year at the start of the window. For people who don't know the window concept, NMAT is going to be, you will be able to give the exam from 5th November to 19th December and you choose your own date between that window. Okay. Now let's talk about the syllabus. Syllabus, verbal section, that's your language skills. Predominantly it is reading comprehension, which are squat RCs. They're not going to be very lengthy RCs like in CAT, but they're moderate size RCs. Questions would be more inference based. I could get questions which are a little bit of vocabulary based from the passage, idioms and phrases. Most common questions are about, your tone of the passage, what is the author's perspective, what is the inference from the given passage. So I would say more comprehension based questions in the reading comprehension section. Then comes grammar, where we have sentence correction questions, and then comes your vocabulary, or you can say it is going to be, it's called analogy, which is very typical to NMAT. It doesn't come in the other exams. So analogy is finding word relationships. So your again understanding of grammar is what is being tested. This is your syllabus for verbal section. Then we move to the logical reasoning section. Very distinctly, out of the 36, almost 50%, that's 18 questions, come from critical reasoning or verbal reasoning, whatever you may call, which is essentially statement and assumption, statement and conclusion, inference, course of action, strengthening, weakening the argument, decision making. So it is making sense. It's actually a lot more common sense based, what you would do in different situations, right? That's what as a manager you're going to do in future. So it's going to be very intuitive, and you need just practice to understand that. Then you have very shortly, which comes one set of input output. Input output is series of numbers and letters or words which is jumbled, and you have to make sense out of it. It's essentially you put in some input in a machine, you do some set of operations, what will you get the output? Operations is nothing but a process oriented, one after the other. Either you are arranging them in ascending or descending order, some or the other steps. So the pattern is what you have to identify. That is input output. Then you will get one arrangement set, which could be linear arrangement, seating arrangement, or some analytical puzzle, like you're given a lot of data. 5 people going to 5 different cities, wearing 5 different color t-shirts in 5 different cars. So they'll give you different permutation combination. You have to make sense out of the data. Kuch nahi karna hai, table banao, put in all the information, you will get your answers to all the puzzle. And lastly, we have the basic logical reasoning questions, which are highly scoring, like your coding, decoding, blood relations, mathematical operations, missing number in the series, which comes in. That's your logical reasoning section. Last is my quants and data interpretation. For all the non-engineers in the house who do not like maths, the best advantage here is you don't have geometry. Plus, it's adaptive. तो जो आपका level आपको आता है, उसी level के आपको questions आ पाएंगे. You will not have to struggle. Which are the most important topics? I would say arithmetic, algebra, modern maths. This is what you should focus majorly on. Then comes data interpretation and data sufficiency. Data sufficiency used to be very special of GMAT, but it's on a much easier side which comes in. I hope this helps you to understand the entire exam NMAT paper pattern, the NMAT syllabus, and the important quick summary must do topics: reading comprehension, analogy, critical reasoning or verbal reasoning, input output, linear or circular arrangement, arithmetic, algebra, and data sufficiency. These are the 8 must do topics to make sure you are definitely clearing all the cutoffs. The best advantage last year was the first time where NMIMS dropped its overall cutoff and the sectional cutoff across. So from somewhere around 235 being the cutoff for Mumbai and 205 for Hyderabad and Indore, last year they came up with one cutoff for all the campuses, all the programs. So the cutoff last year was overall 209, and each of the sections like quants, LR and verbal, all 3 had the same cutoff, which is 62, which used to not be the case before. This year we are expecting it to be the same process as last year, so you could expect the cutoff to be a 208, 29, 210. But to be safe, you should always target a 240 plus overall and 80 plus in each of the sections, so that your life is sorted. Okay, that's about your NMIMS cutoff. The other colleges which you can look at, you have SDA Bocconi, KJ Somaiya, Great Lakes. 225 plus should be good and safe to all of these colleges. You have TAPMI. Great Lakes takes it only for the 1-year program. Okay, the rest of them take it for all the programs. Then you have XIMB, which takes for a couple of programs. In fact, a big change this year. Till now, NMIMS and KJ Somaiya used to accept the first attempt only. This year onwards, KJ Somaiya will take best of. So all the other colleges will take best of 3. You can take 3 attempts if you wish to take that. But for KJ Somaiya, best of 2. So you will be allowed to submit 2 of your best scores, and they will take the higher out of the 2. Okay. So that is about the colleges and the cutoffs. Now, very important, how do you go about with your preparation? or how do we increase our mock scores. So firstly, the latest mock that you have given, drop in the comment section your overall and the sectional scores. Okay, now let's talk about how to prepare. So what I want you guys to do is make sure you make a daily habit of preparation. First thing, 30 minutes sit and revise vocabulary every day. 30 minutes spend on reading EON essays. 2 DI sets every day. 2 input-output sets every day. 10 to 20 questions of quants every day, and 10 to 20 questions of basic LR every day. Start with this basic rigor and do that for the next 10 days. See your mock scores. Then we will analyze and do a SWOT analysis. Which are the topics which are your strength areas? मतलब ये हमेशा correct जा रहे हैं. Which are the topics which you are not able to score, that is your weak areas, because you know you have studied but still not able to do. You are doing silly mistakes. That's my weak areas. I can easily improve them. Opportunity areas will be questions which are easy but you have not studied that concept. So do that. In fact, to be safe, I always suggest geometry के भी formulas तो करके जाओ. कोई easy question आ जाए in that entire adaptive pool of questions for everybody. Even if that comes, you should be able to solve it. Last is questions which you know you're always doing wrong. That is something you have a fear of it. We'll give it an attempt to understand now. If not, in future exam में उसको mark करके we will move on and not waste our time, because time is of the essence. Personally, the time strategy and the section selection strategy which works best, in my opinion, that has worked for most of the NMAT toppers. Start with verbal, then do LR, and then do quants and DI. In each of these, in verbal, we will put, it's a simple rule, 30, 45, 60. 30 seconds per question in verbal, 45 seconds per question in LR, 60 seconds per question in quants. To train yourself on this, every time when you're practicing, even if it's not a mock test, you're solving, let's say, the NMAT official guide or the CATKing NMAT maximizer books or any questions, you will put a timer and you will see how much time is left. Because in the exam, on the top right corner, you will always have time left, which creates anxiety, because people have got so much of stress ki 5 minutes left and 12 questions remaining. It just makes it more stressful. But if you're doing that every day, you're training your mind to the time left, it becomes way much easier to go ahead and practice that. Okay, so I hope that helps. Now, if you guys need any inputs or tips and preparation strategy for each and every topic, feel free to drop in the comment section. I will make strategy videos for your preparation for those particular topics and modules, make you guys meet some of the previous year NMAT toppers who will help you out also. Before I sign off, the last thing I will give you guys advice is, how do you make it to NMIMS? So last year, NMIMS had a major change in the process. But the good thing is, it increased the chances for you as students. 209, where you wouldn't have got a call from major of the NMIMS campuses, you got in a call for NMIMS Mumbai core. And mind it, students with 209, 210 are sitting in the Mumbai campus. There were students at a 250, 260 who couldn't make it because they did not fare well in the other section. So good thing, you don't have to put all eggs in your one basket and score only in NMAT. You have NMAT, you have your past academics, your overall profile, your interview performance and your competency test. Lastly, there was a lot of chaos last year because it was announced pretty late कि competency test tough है, पता नहीं कैसा है, क्या आएगा, we are spending extra money and everything. कुछ नहीं. Competency test was pretty easy. It was honestly much easier than NMAT. Similar type of questions which you had to study. They had questions which were like, of verbal, mental ability and managerial ability, which is nothing but your decision making skills, situation based questions. You were easily able to do that. It was 45 minutes, 3 sections, not very tedious, तो आप कर सकते हो. उसके बाद में you had an AI based interview and a personal interview by the faculty. If I give you the overall weightages, which may or may not be the same, on the first day of NMIMS interviews, you will be given this weighted structure. So maybe it may change or it does not. But last year, NMAT was 20%, competency test 50%, personal interview 10%, which includes your AI based and human personal interview, work experience, achievements, extracurriculars all combined 10%, past academic records 10%, which had 5% to your graduation, 5% to your 12th. So 10th की weightage नहीं थी. So this is something which you have to keep in mind. But right now, step number 1 is to make sure you start preparing for NMAT, for which you have to ensure you register for the NMAT exam and don't miss out on the dates, because it is first come first basis your slot booking. The registrations are open till 10th of October. Don't wait and hope ki extension hoga. क्यों last minute रुकना है? Slots कम मिलेंगे, right? जितना जल्दी book करोगे, you can get a choice of your own slot within the window of 5th to 19th, 5th November to 19th of December. For students who've not yet checked out the NMAT website or how to register, check out my detailed video which guides you step by step how to fill the NMAT application. The fees for the application form is going to be 3,000 plus taxes. So make sure you guys fill it within 24 hours. Check out for the scheduling option, book your dates and start preparing with the countdown in hand, because we are all Indian kids. We love studying when we have a deadline in hand. So let's get your NMAT date and drop in the comment section your NMAT date also, so that I can help you in your preparation strategy. I hope this video was helpful for all of you guys to understand everything you need to know about NMAT, and you make sure you guys study well, get good scores, and let's make it to NMIMS and come back on this side being my juniors as well. All the best. Take care.
Hi, I'm Sejal Sharma.
Sauradeep Chaudhary. मेरा CAT percentile 99.20 था.
Watching your videos and I kept watching them, and the motivation and your energy was just too high that it gave me the motivation that I can do it.
I'm very grateful to you because आपके मैं सारे lectures बैठा हूँ.
CATKing का जो interface है वो बहुत ही अच्छा है, एकदम CAT की तरफ.
क्या बात है? Whenever I used to feel लो आपका motivation देख लेती थी.
पापा मेरे से बड़े फैन हैं.
क्यों भाई?
क्योंकि जब मैं स्पीकर पे पढ़ता था या आपके वीडियो देखता था तो बोलते हैं यार ये बंदा ना पढ़ाते हो सब मोटिवेट करता है तुम्हें, वो हवा भरती रहनी चाहिए हमेशा गाड़ी में.
Thank you so much, sir. And I would again like to thank all of you as the CATKing family. It's been a great experience.
Hit the bell icon.